हुआ? हाँ, कनेक्टेड है। आवाज आ रही है? अच्छा, ये दूर पड़ता है ना माइक। मैं चटाई चटाई दूँ, चटाई निकाल ली। 2.14। आज इसी में एक और पॉइंट डिस्कस करेंगे, इसी वर्ष पे। ठीक है, मैं श्लोक का पाठ करता हूँ। मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय शीतोष्ण सुख दुःखदाः आगमापायिनो नित्यास् तान् तितिक्षस्व भारत। मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय शीतोष्ण सुख दुःखदाः आगमापायिनो नित्यास् तान् तितिक्षस्व भारत। मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय शीतोष्ण सुख दुःखदाः आगमापायिनो नित्यास् तान् तितिक्षस्व भारत। पढ़िए अभिषेक जी। नहीं, रिसाइट करिए एक बार श्लोक। मात्रा नहीं 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 मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय, फिर आगे शीतोष्ण सुख दुःखदाः आगमापायिनो नित्यास् तान् तितिक्षस्व भारत। भव्य। मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय शीतोष्ण सुख दुःखदाः Agamapaino nityas tanstitikshasva bharata. मेरे पास इंग्लिश में है तो इंग्लिश से पढ़ लेता हूँ। मैं शब्दार्थ पढ़ता हूँ और अनुवाद। मात्रा स्पर्शाः sensory perception to only. Kaunteya, O son of Kunti, Sita, winter, Ushna, summer, Sukha, happiness, Dukha, and pain, Daha, giving, Agama, appearing, Apainaha, disappearing, Anityah, non-permanent, Tan, all of them, Tidikshasva, just try to tolerate, Bharata, O descendant of the Bharat dynasty. Translation by Prabhat. O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception, O Seon of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. Purport. In the proper discharge of duty, one has to learn to tolerate non permanent appearances and disappearances of happiness and distress. According to Vedic injunction, one has to take his bath early in the morning, even during the month of Magh, January, February. It is very cold at that time, but in spite of that, a man who abides by the religious principles does not hesitate to take his bath. Similarly, a woman does not hesitate to cook in the kitchen in the months of May and June, the hottest part of the summer season. One has to execute his duty in spite of climatic inconveniences. Similarly, to fight is the religious principle of the Kshatriyas, and although one has to fight with some friend or relative, one should not deviate from his prescribed duty. One has to follow the prescribed rules and regulations of religious principles in order to rise up to the platform of knowledge. Because by knowledge and devotion only one can liberate himself from the clutches of Maya. The two different names of address given to Arjuna are also significant. To address him as Kaunteya signifies his great blood relations from his mother's side, and to address him as Bharata signifies his greatness from his father's side. From both sides, he is supposed to have a great heritage. A great heritage brings responsibility in the matter of proper discharge of duties. Therefore, the he cannot avoid fighting. मम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भक्तिवेदान्त नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। इंग्लिश में इसको डिस्कस करें। आपने पढ़ समझ थोड़ा सा ट्राई करें इंग्लिश में करने का डिस्कस। The explanation which Prabhupada gives is called purport. Purport in Hindi it is called bhavartha. Bhavartha means which explains the feelings of the speaker. The verse which is being spoken by Sri Krishna, what is the feeling behind speaking this verse? And that explanation is called bhavarth. In English we call it purport. So actually whatever Prabhupada gave us, he he focuses on the feelings of the speaker, whoever is speaking. It may be Dhritarashtra or Arjun or Sri Krishna. Three are there and Sanjay is also there. Four persons are there in the whole Bhagavad Gita. We are reading the verses spoken by them. The first verse was spoken by Dhritarashtra, the only verse. In the whole Bhagavad Gita, only one verse Dhritarashtra spoke. Maximum verses were spoken by Sri Krishna. And this is the verse spoken by Sri Krishna. So, what is the feelings? Why he is speaking something? What are the feelings in his heart? Prabhupada focuses on those feelings. And we should also focus to understand those feelings behind the speech or behind the verse. So that will help us or inspire us to surrender to the Lord. Because the purpose of Bhagavad Gita is to make us surrender to Sri Krishna. That's why Srimad Bhagavad Gita is called the book of surrender. Because if we don't learn or we don't surrender to Sri Krishna, then there is no hope of becoming a devotee of Krishna. Because being a devotee means surrender to Krishna. Being surrendered to Krishna. That is means that means being a devotee of Krishna. So the whole Bhagavad Gita is targeted or being spoken by the Lord to inspire us, to motivate us to surrender to the lotus feet of the Lord. And surrender is something which is very, very, it appears a harsh word. Surrender means something, it appears that someone has to. Actually, surrender is something which cannot be possible without inspiration or motivation or feeling to surrender. Surrender is not a physical, not on the physical platform or bodily platform. It is actually on the spiritual platform or in the or on the heart platform. Our heart should be surrender. Our heart should be surrendering to the Lord. Means the desire or feelings should be there in the heart that I want to surrender, I have to surrender to the Lord. So that is the goal of speaking Bhagavad Gita and hearing Bhagavad Gita or reading Bhagavad Gita. So this aim or goal should be there in the mind. So keeping this goal in the mind, Srila Prabhupada is explaining each and every verse, whether it is being spoken by Dhritarashtra or Sanjay or Arjuna. Srila Prabhupada is focused on one thing, that I have to inspire the reader because he is writing. So he is focused on that I have to inspire the reader to surrender to the Lord. He should be inspired. He should not be forced. Because forced surrender is not called the real surrender. Real surrender means one is willingly or feelingly surrendering to the Lord. And when one surrenders to the Lord, then naturally, whatever activities he will do, it will be in line with the pleasure of the Lord. Otherwise, it will be different from the pleasure of the Lord. So one more point I am taking from this verse, from that feeling, why Sri Krishna is speaking this verse. What are the feelings? One more feeling is there that can be discussed. Actually, the Lord is speaking this verse to the Lord, to Arjuna. He is telling Arjuna to tolerate the pains and pleasures, heat and cold, which arise from the sensory perception. So, whatever the pain and pleasure he is feeling now, Arjuna is feeling, it is on the bodily or mental platform. And Krishna is inspiring Arjuna to tolerate them and execute the duty of Kshatriya, which is to fight. And he is showing the desire not to fight. He wants to beg and live his life. But Krishna is inspiring him to do his duty, which is to fight, and tolerate those pains which is coming on the bodily platform and mental platform. And third platform is the highest platform, is the spiritual platform. So Krishna is pulling his consciousness from the down to the up, which is spiritual platform. So in this pulling, in the process of pulling, he is feeling the pain. He wants to act on the bodily platform and mental platform. His mind is telling not to fight because they are the family members and friends and relatives are there in the field, Kurukshetra field. His mind is telling that it will be painful to kill the relatives, and he is obeying the mind, and he is feel expressing his desire not to fight. But Krishna wants him to act on the spiritual platform, not on the mental and bodily platform. Because pains and pleasures is there on the mental and bodily platform, but in the spiritual platform there is only bliss. There is only bliss. Krishna wants his devotee friend Arjuna to act on the spiritual platform, not on the bodily and mental platform. That's why he is pulling his consciousness up. In this pulling, he is feeling a pain. So he is expressing his pain. But Krishna is telling him, just tolerate. It's just a fact, just a matter of time. When you act according to my order and instruction, you will be elevated and on the spiritual platform where there is no pain and pleasure. There is only bliss. Keval Ananda Kanda. That is called. The spiritual platform is called Keval Ananda Kanda. So it's just a matter of time. Keep on doing your duty under the guidance and instructions or orders given by me, and you will be blissful. So just tolerate them. These these pains which you are feeling, it is not eternal. They are anitya, non-permanent. But while we are tolerating these pains, we have to keep on discharging or performing our duties in under the guidance of the Lord. If we do that, the time will come that we will be fully elevated on the spiritual platform. So our whole activities, what is the lesson for us? It is for Arjuna now. But what is the lesson we should take from this verse for our life? We should be also acting our duties, our activities in the daily life in connection with the Lord. It should be connected to the pleasure of the Lord. Whatever we are doing in our daily life, in the mind, we should connect it to the pleasure of the Lord or to the instructions of the Lord. And then the whole activities or the whole day will be spiritualized, will be spiritual. And some one more thing is there, one more aspect of to this verse is that the whole world or every person is acting, doing some actions, doing some duties, or performing some actions or activities, which is in connection with the relatives or in connection with the Guru and Krishna. Two kind of works we can see in this material creation. The materialistic people, they are whole day they are busy in activities the whole day, but their activities are on the material platform because they are doing those activities for the pleasure of some material person. But a devotee or disciple should act those activities for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. Then the same activity, if we are doing for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna, it becomes spiritual. And when those activities are done for the pleasure of materialistic people, those activities become material. So every person is doing activities, but for whom they are doing. So this question for whom makes the activities material or spiritual. Like like you do your job, you go for the job. But if you don't connect it for the pleasure of the Lord, the whole activity becomes material. It should be connected in the mind why I am doing what I am doing, for whose pleasure I am doing it. Superficially or apparently, it may be for the pleasure of the boss in the office, but internally, it should be pleasure for the Lord. So, this connection, because every action breeds the relation, for whom that action is being done. Because we are also there in the temple, we are directly doing those activities for the pleasure of the Guru and Krishna. But you are there not in the temple, you are there in your house, and you are doing the job and whatever the. So you are visiting the office, working there. The order is being given by the boss. Apparently or superficially should be for his pleasure, but it should be connected to the pleasure of the Lord also. That this job has been arranged by the Lord for me, and I am in the Grihastha Dharma, Grihastha duty, so I have to earn the money by doing some job. So I am earning it. I am earning the money. So it is arrangement of the Lord that I got this job. So I am doing this duty ultimately for the pleasure of the Lord. But immediately, two kinds of perceptions are there: immediately and ultimately. So immediately, it is for the pleasure of the boss, but ultimately it should be pleasure of the Lord. Because if you are doing your job or activities, then it will develop the spiritual relationship with the Lord. Otherwise, it will be on the material platform. Just for the sake of money, you are doing your job. So, this connection should happen in the heart or in the mind. So, Krishna is telling here Arjuna, tolerate those pains and perform your Kshatriya Dharma under my instruction, and thus this non permanent pain and pains will go away, and you will be blissful in the future, in due time, in due course of time. So thus there is that was the angle which I was contemplating since few days back. So I was thinking to share with all of you. So action should happen in relation with the Lord. Then those actions become spiritual. But when the actions are happening in relation with just materialistic people, then the action will be material only. Any question or comment? Bhavya, then can you summarize the lecture? Bhavya. Also, this thought should be there, this that this work or duty which has come to me, or which I have got, it is it has come to me by the arrangement of the Lord. Like Abhishek searched for the job. Okay, you tried to get it and you got it. So who arranged for you? You tried to get it, but who gave you? Yeah, because without the arrangement of the Lord, you cannot get something. So you have got this job, or job. The job word is proper. So whatever the job you have got, it is it was arranged by the Lord. You tried to get it, but Krishna gave you. So you have to think this way. Whatever relationship, it's a job. Whatever things we get, whatever relationship we get, like friendship, wife, father, mother, brother, sister, whatever these are the social relationship. To whatever relationship we are getting, it is being given by the Lord. We are desiring and trying, but ultimately it is offered or given by the Lord. Because everything belongs to Krishna. Every person belongs to Krishna. So relationship means some person is there. So who gave the relationship with that person? Like you have got relationship with your wife. Who arranged for this relationship? Krishna. So we have to see Krishna everywhere in this way, in everything, in every action, in every relation. In every relationship, we have to see Krishna. We have to see the presence of Krishna. Similarly, we have to see it. Whatever relationship, actually, husband-wife relationship is the basis of the whole material creation, because this is the central relationship on which the whole society is moving. So this relationship is very important. Otherwise, the whole material creation will collapse. The whole creation, the whole society is moving around this one relationship. So this relationship is like the central point of the whole society, of the whole creation. Other relationship are the just a branch of this one relationship. If we see like that, then our vision will be becoming more and more spiritual. Otherwise, we will be having a material vision. Everything be connected to the matter, or connected to the mind, our own mind. So that's why the philosophy is called Darshan Shastra. It's all about seeing. It's all about perceiving. How you see, how you perceive. It depends everything on your seeing or your perceiving. The way you perceive, the way accordingly the situation or atmosphere will be created by the Lord. If your vision is material, material situation will be created by the Lord or Maya. Maya is just a representative of the Lord. Maya is representing Lord Krishna, working under the order of Krishna. Maya adhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, its material energy or Maya Shakti is working under my direction, under my supervision. So how it how the Maya arranges everything? the way I the way we perceive. If our perception is material, the material situation will be created. And if our perception is spiritual, we can see, we can feel the Lord everywhere, in everything, in every person, and we will be happy. One prayer is there by by Kunti Devi in Bhagavatam, where she is praying to the Lord that keep on giving me troubles, because in troubles I can see your mercy. And your mercy, seeing your mercy means seeing you. And who can be miserable? Who can see you? Who can be miserable if that person is seeing you? We are miserable because we are not able to see Krishna in everything, in every person, in every situation. That's why we are miserable. A person who is seeing Krishna, who is having darshan of Krishna, he has to be blissful. So the reason behind our being distressed or being miserable is because we are not able to see Krishna in that situation, in that relation, in that action. Yeah, you have a question? आवाज नहीं आ रही? बहुत कम आ रही है, कुछ भी नहीं आ रही। हाँ, अभी आ रही? पता नहीं। अच्छा, पता नहीं कैसे डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया। हो सकता है बैटरी डाउन हो गया है इसका। क्या
हो सकता है
40% है बैटरी।
40% बाद काम करना कम हुआ तो इजीली करना सकता था।
ठीक है, पता नहीं किस कारण से बंद हो गया। लो स्टोरेज फ़ोन में, स्लो डाउन।
और मेमोरी कम है, पूरा रिकॉर्डिंग हुआ ना, इस कारण से स्लो शो कर रहा है।
ओके,
तो इसको अति कर दीजिए।
यू हैव सम क्वेश्चन और कमेंट? आप लोग कुछ पूछना है? आपका कुछ क्वेश्चन या कमेंट है, या एंड करें? मैं इसको थोड़ा समराइज कर देता हूँ शॉर्ट में। फर्स्ट तो हमने पहले फर्स्ट आई एक्सप्लेन द मीनिंग ऑफ द purport, and then I explained the one angle which I didn't explain in the last lecture, which was on the spiritual platform, how Krishna is working hard to elevate the consciousness of Arjuna on the and make it fixed up in the spiritual platform. And for the time being, he should tolerate. He is instructing him. And the third point I discussed, that how we should learn from this verse for our own daily life. So three things mainly I discussed. Okay, thank you. श्रीमद् भगवद गीता ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भगवद गीता एज इट इज की श्रील प्रभुपाद जी महाराज की गीताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। थैंक यू। हरे कृष्ण।
इसको कहीं प्रभु जी स्टोर कर लीजिए। हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, अभी तो इस कॉल में है प्रभु जी।